validity of a march and questioning the relevancy of a march in the year 2012, especially in Canada. I've heard people say that they support women's equality, they support women's right to vote, their right to fair pay, their right to hold leadership roles. So what is the purpose of this march? I agree that a march and a rally, this should not be our end, but part of a greater movement that gathers communities, raises awareness, and pressures establishments. I'm here to tell you why we need these marches and why these rallies need to continue. First, women, we have a voice. Women have the right to express that voice, and we will not be silenced. Second, we need to speak up for the women who have had that right taken away, for women who have been pushed out of public forums, and for women who have been imprisoned, abused, and killed for simply speaking up. Rallies and protests can be extremely effective. During 1914 to 1915, for those of you who know your Manitoba history, Nellie McClung, she led rallies of women and men here in this province and was a key figure in fighting for women's rights to vote and for our government to recognize women as qualified persons. In 1956, over 20,000 women in South Africa marched to their union buildings, bringing with them over 100,000 signatures to oppose the Urban Areas Act so that they could travel freely in their countries without passbooks. On October 24, 1975, 90% of the women in Iceland put down their tools at home and in the workplace to protest wage inequality, forcing many of the country's institutions to shut down. The women's movement in Iceland has continued to be vocal, holding its political system accountable, making Iceland the top-ranked country for its successes in closing the gender gap. On October of 2011, 5,000 women in Yemen demonstrated against President Ali Abdullah Saleh's authoritarian rule. They also protested his remark that women and unrelated men should not be mixing in public spaces. And finally, in last December, over 20,000 women in Italy rallied to end discrimination in the workplace and the country's pervasive macho culture, and pressed for political parity and better representation in the media. So I urge all of you to continue to attend these marches that support our sisters, our safety, and women's rights, and to continue to push for change. So I am going to invite our first speaker up. Our first speaker tonight here at Union Center is a high school student who dreams of becoming, okay. Before we get to that, I apologize. I have here a sign-up sheet for those of you who are interested in helping to plan next year's International Women's Day March. Feel free to put your name and the best way to contact you, whether that be by email or by phone number, and I'm going to have this list set up by the door over there. Someone could take this off my hands. So our next speaker is a high school student who dreams of becoming an international human rights lawyer. She was born during the Civil War in Sierra Leone and came to Canada as a refugee at the age of 6. At Windsor Park Collegiate, she's an active member of the Social Justice Committee and has personally founded Global Backpack, an organization to help less privileged children in Sierra Leone. So please give your full attention to Nyenje Koine.